All right. Welcome, Josh. So we exchanged some emails beforehand, and you kind of suggested that there might be some other people joining us. I didn't ask before we started recording. Is anybody else joining us?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so. We played a gig last night at a squat a long way away, and I suspect they were partying until 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, so we've I don't know if you've seen any of our shows that we were just talking about how COVID has changed some things, at least for the internet in France. And that's the history of this show for anybody who this is their first show. We started this show, me and some folks, back in April of 2020. And, you know, one thing that we've done over that time is we've played pretty much all of your videos. So I don't know what videos we're going to play today. We don't have any strict rules about not playing things again, so we can play some stuff again. But one thing I wanted to ask you about is I know you've done some cave shows in the past, but I don't think there's ever any video of those. Is that because you don't want people to you don't want there to be evidence of the cave shows, or uh, is that because there's no power in the caves for videos, or which I'm sure that's the case, but
Uh, yeah. When you say caves, what do you mean?
well, I don't know. I've heard you tell me that you've played some cave shows, so I don't know
We
what
have
that.
pla we played in chalk mines, in
Ah,
illegal. We played some illegal shows in a chalk mine.
okay,
That was really cool. It's kind of like uh, we turned up to this squat, and then went down this tiny little tunnel, like pulling all the equipment behind us, and this little tunnel goes down into the mountain, and we were like, this is really bad. This is really bad. What the hell? And then we turn a corner, and it's just like this huge cavern full of full of people, bars, light rigs, sound systems, all
oh, so
kinds of stuff.
they got the whole thing. So maybe
Yeah,
I just
so
haven't seen it.
it was high tech, but yeah, these kind of gigs. We've done like so many amazing, strange gigs in like
Yeah,
bizarre places. Just like last night. Last night we played in a occupied police station from the old days, from the 90s.
interesting.
An old police station with, and we played down in this place. They've like adapted it into cells and stuff. No, they've adapted the cells, the underground, into kind of like a music venue, rudimentary music venue. And you go in there, you plug in all your stuff, you're trying to get ready, you've got so much stuff to do. There's no roadies to help, obviously. No one
Yeah.
knows what they're doing. And then it's like you gotta drink as much beer as you can in the limited time you got, and then you get on stage, and then you get off stage, and you're like, wow, that was the most incredible show of our lives. Oh shit, I totally forgot about videoing. What the hell? Nobody took any photos. Nobody took a video. Damn,
It's
nobody took any
funny.
photos.
I have this experience on my bike rides pretty often. Although I often think in the moment, should I stop and take and take some footage? But then it's like I gotta unclip the bike, I gotta take the phone off the little handlebar thing, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm here. That's what's important. I mean, and
Yeah, yes. It's like, am I gonna stop the show and like take a photo of the audience? Because that would like stop the flow of the show. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
but it's sometimes like I do see people. I do see like some of my friends posting like videos of their audiences, and it's like
yeah, yeah,
incredible. But I know, hey, dudes, you took like a minute out of your time to do that photo, and a minute on stage is a long time.
yeah.
Long time.
So my my experience as a band leader is very short. I was in a couple of bands, And but yeah, I mean, your experience far outweighs mine. So who am I to tell you how to do this? But something to think about. What I have seen some people on stage be good at is making the picture part of the show in some way. Like
Yeah,
it's not a
yeah,
pause from the
exactly.
show, it is part of the show. And you know, that may be, you know, more that might come more naturally to somebody who's maybe in their 20s. But
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's something because we've been going for 16 more than 16 years now, and it's like we've built up a kind of energy when we go on stage, and it kind of and it does work. I mean, the last night the kids, none of these kids knew us. It was in a town that nobody knows. Uh, just a bunch of squat kids, a kind of outcasts of society. A lot of like kids, non-binary people, and all that. And they all started moshing and crowd surfing and crazy stuff. And like we don't know how to, we don't want to break, and we don't know how to break out of that, and we don't necessarily want to because we've got a good thing going, so we're scared. We're scared
right,
of changing.
yeah, that's
We're scared of changing the show.
change is scary. There is no doubt about that. All right, we're talking about live shows here. So do you have you probably don't have all the things memorized that is on your YouTube, but do you have a show that you know is on your YouTube, or a clip that I could pick here?
Ooh,
One that particularly stands out?
good point. I do have my favorite one. I'm going to go to YouTube right now and try
Okay.
and find it. I'm actually, I've exited out of Jitsi.
Yeah, well, I can still hear you, so.
Well, that's cool. I'm gonna go to. I gotta do this. How do I do that? And of course now I can't remember how to get to it.
Well, if you'd like, I can just pick one.
I'll be there in 1 second because this one is really cool.
Okay.
It's actually my favorite one. Okay, and I will. Yeah, there we are. It's right to the top. I got it. I found it straight away, and I'll get the link. Copy the link. Cool. Now, if I go back to Jitsi, is there a way I can send you the link, or do I have to go to the email?
So there's a couple of different ways. So I'm thinking, are on a phone, maybe, or maybe an iPad. Or
I did it.
like that.
I found it.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
It's done.
Yeah.
There we are.
All right.
This is a gig we did in a legendary squat, the most legendary squat in French history, called the Miwatri. And I don't know what happened, but that gig was crazy, and like everyone, it just seemed to work. I don't know. It's amazing gig, that one.
All right, let's check it out.
Awesome.
Oh no. So what happened here is it redirected me into, or actually what it didn't do is redirect me. So when I copied the link, it had a Jitsi URL redirect. So this time I have double checked, and it is actually a YouTube link. Yeah, the way the video sharing works is it actually checks the URL first to like make sure that it's a valid URL, which I guess makes sense. So anyway, Take two.
For life.
Very awesome. So we saw there are at least in that particular video there were 6 folks on stage. Why don't you give us a rundown of the rest of the band?
Yeah. That was our old drummer. That was our old drummer, Greg. But now we have a new drummer called Octave, which is a cool name for a musician. We got Juliet, otherwise known as Julie Haight, and she's the little singer that's jumping around everywhere. On bass with the huge hair, he's still got that huge hair, is Axel, and I can't remember his punk name because I'm dumb. The guitarist.
He should just go with Rose. There's nothing more punk than pissing off Guns N' Roses. So.
Exactly. I think for a while his name was Axel Geranium or something like that. Something funny. And Arno is on the guitar, and his punk name is Arno Life, which is kind of funny in a way. Arno Life. I don't know. The keyboardist is Clemence, and her name is it's Clem Fresh. There we are, Clem Fresh, which is funny to French people as well. And I think that's everybody. That's 6. Yeah.
Awesome. One thing that go ahead.
Some of the band have been with us from the beginning. Like me and Juliet have been basically there from the beginning, and Clem as well, the keyboardist, and everyone else has come in like a year or 2 later, and then the last one is the drummer. But like,
right.
Yeah.
Very awesome. So I don't know that it's correct to say that it's new anymore, but in the past few months, at least, I know you've been working on your studio. You're doing a lot of audio engineering. I don't know. I mean, it's a thing that is other than the band. So is that your full-time gig, or how?
It is now. I'm a full-time music producer. It's amazing to say it. I'm producing about two records a month in my studio that we built from nothing. We rented out a warehouse, and we just built all the walls, all the floors, all the ceilings, everything. We just build it out. We just built and used a lot of recycled materials and stuff we found on dumps, rubbish dumps and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And we just built this place, and it's a badass studio now. So it's really cool. And I'm producing lots and lots and lots of underground bands, lots of strange bands. I'm producing one band right now called Jesus Le Vidange, who's a transsexual cowboy from Bourgogne. So it's transsexual cowboy music.
I I don't know what that means as far as a genre.
It's
Is it country music?
it's
What
a
is that?
yeah, it's country. It's country, but about transsexual things.
Okay,
So
that's fair enough. Yeah.
and apparently it works well in the clubs.
Okay.
There's quite a lot of drag clubs around France. It's a thriving drag scene of drag kings and drag queens, and in the clubs, country music just hits the spot. So,
Interesting.
as an anarchist punk, I'm now producing a little bit of country music from time to time.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Well, there's
Uh,
definitely
I
like
did.
a folk punk thing that exists. Like
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
so, not that far off.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, with the studio, I'm lucky. I get to see so much music, and I mean, just last month I did the sound for Lee Ronaldo from Sonic Youth, so that was cool.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
So a little bit of experimental noise music, and it's cool. Lots of different types of stuff.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Um, I think it was 2 years ago now. I'm not looking at the thing now, but not so long ago, you released maybe it was last year. You guys released a bunch of singles on Block Sonic. Was that last year or was that 2 years ago?
21, and we
Okay.
are 23 right now.
Yeah,
So that's 2
that's
years ago. Yeah.
that's what I thought. One of the, I mean, from my perspective, that all came out great. I mean, the artwork was great, the music was great. Um, I hope you guys were happy with it. But one thing that was particularly impressive to me is, we've tried at Block Sonic to do these remix things in the past, and mostly they go kind of nowhere, unfortunately. But you guys got a lot of participation with your remixes. Um, why don't you talk a little bit about that? I mean, do you think what was
Yeah,
it
it
that
was
caught
quite
people's
a
attention?
surprise.
Call you guys very
I don't
surprised
know.
too.
Yeah, we're surprised too. We're surprised too. I mean, we had some remixes here from people in France,
Yeah.
uh, and we had a few that we didn't even send to Mike because we didn't think they were up to scratch. But there was loads. We got loads. I think there were 18. We got 18 remixes in total, and we only wrote 8 songs, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so that's pretty good. And so we were surprised. We don't know why. We got a cool remix done by Speed Kicks. They were amazing. And in return for that, we got to do like a kind of like singing on their album. So me and Juliet wrote lyrics and sang a song on their album on the I can't remember what the new Speed Kicks album was called, but it was an amazing album. So that was really cool, and that all came from the remixing.
Yeah, that Speed Kicks album ended up winning album of the year last year. Um,
Yeah,
or I guess this
it
year,
deserves it.
earlier this
It
year.
was
Um,
really, really good.
yeah, and I think one of the things that really captured people's attention on that album is just the diversity of the genres. I mean, we called it trip hop. And that's what it's listed as. But if you look at the folks that were contributing, uh, they're bringing a lot of things that are not trip hop to that. So the name of that album was Mary Poppin' Medicine. So folks
Yeah,
can definitely
of course it
go
was.
and go and check that out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so uh, now I don't have. I should go and find one a video from Speed Kicks. Maybe I'll do that. I don't have one queued up, but I did think about this, and I picked out a video from Yukon Sleeman, otherwise is known as Yuck MC, who is also
Oh
uh,
yeah, 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 yeah.
he
Love that guy.
yes. Yeah, so I just figured people could get a taste of some of the folks contributing here. This is All of My Days by Yukon Sleeman.
I know in this life that we just get one chance. So what will you do with your time in the dance? I'm reflecting on things on the real happenstance, and I'm letting myself drift in memory trance. Cause when I think I know how hard life can be, something always happens that helps me to see the mistakes that I made. So I'll be better me, that's the only option for this family. When I think about them, my heart starts to swell. I never knew how this would feel up until my son was born, and my heart starts to fill, and I have all those feelings inside of me still. When I rest on the sill and gaze out on the world, I know that my life is the way it has turned because of my choices and karma I've earned, and all of the times in my life that I've learned. When those thoughts come up just to get in the way, I have all the skills to keep on with my day. I think about things and then push them away. I know I can control myself every day. I tell you with all of the passion I have inside of me, driving me, keeping me glad. I know I can do it cause I always have, and my life is perfect when not getting mad. I feel so much love when I look in your eyes, and I know that I'm stripping away your disguise, the one that you want to help with my demise. And now when I look I can see only pride. I feel so much clearer with you and him nearer to my heart and soul, and I get to be whole, make myself great again so that I can still be who I told you I'd be when we started 15. Cause we matched all the way, and to this very day we get to be us without shit in the way. And I say this with all of my heart and my feeling, that when I'm with you there is no current ceiling. We'll head up to space like the whole human race, but we'll do it before then, we're setting the pace. I know you can see it, it covers my face, the joy that I'm feeling for all of my days. And when we are old we'll reflect on this time as we sit on our porch while your hand rests on mine, and your eyes will still sparkle like they're pure sunshine. And I know in that moment that life turns out fine.
Have you ever delved? I guess others other than the Speed Kicks, but have you ever delved into the hip hop at all, either in your production or just goofing around?
Yeah, yeah. Produced quite a few hip hop artists. I recently produced a hip hop artist. I can't remember the name. It was Arabic hip hop,
Hmm.
doing like political Arabic stuff about the problems in Algeria. I also produced a hip hop record for a gay hip hop artist, a gay Arab hip hop artist, that was kicked out of his production, or he left his production company because like this guy is out. I mean, but like in a serious way, because he's talking about like uh, he's rapping about like serious like problems of being a gay rapper. He's not like Lil Nas X that's having fun with it. This dude's not having much. Well, at least in the songs, he's not having much fun. So yeah, I've done a bit of hip hop. We dabble in hip hop from time to time. in general, we kind of avoid going too much into hip hop because in our area, it's mostly gangster. It's mostly gangster rap. So as a music studio, I have to kind of like try a little bit at least to try and keep gangsters and drugs out of my establishment. A little bit. I can't stop everything because, like, musicians, what are you gonna do? They're musicians. They come in with all kinds of crazy stuff. But I try and keep it to a minimum. So and so we do what we can.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's see. I have kind of a random question, but I guess people that are familiar with the show will know where this question is coming from. There is a French band, and I'm curious if you're familiar with them. Infecticide. You familiar with those guys?
Yeah, I've seen them live. Yeah.
Okay.
I took my kids to see Infecticide because they're funny guys. They put on a show on stage. They all dressed up. They always have like these costumes made.
Yes. Infecticide is one of I think one of Donnie's favorite bands. I don't know if I think it's partially the visuals, but also just the music. Is he has this sort of like art punk aesthetic that he really enjoys, and I don't dislike it. I don't, it's probably wouldn't be my first go-to, but this is another one of those bands that we've played a bunch of their videos. This particular song, the title is in French, so maybe you can tell us what this is about.
Yeah, I can.
It says it's something like "Les Ennemis Savages" or something, something like that.
Les Ennemis Sauvages.
Put it in the chat in case.
Yeah, man. Wild Animals.
Wild Animals. Okay, the Wild Animals. Yeah, I figured my pronunciation would be pretty poor there.
Yeah, I thought what I heard you say was enema, and I was like, dude, does the dude really want me to translate enema? What the hell?
Yeah, well, I mean, that could be that's like Guar. That's the Guar stage show.
Yeah, exactly. That could be a cool. That's actually a cool name for a punk band, actually. The wild enemas.
Cool. Yes. None of this domesticated enema bullshit. Wild enemas. I like it.
Yeah, that's like a gore grindcore band.
Yes. All right, let's check it out.
de vers de terre. Fais de lui là. De paille, de pain, de pie, de mort, de poule. Fais de lui là. De mouche, de moule, de but, de buffet, d'œuf. Fais de lui là. De rat, d'enfant, de femme, de chien, de singe. Fais de lui là. De pierre, de terre, de chair, de verre, de terre.
No, that was fun.
Wow, that is a hell of a video.
Well,
I like the second half. The second half seemed to be all about like the evils of palm oil production or something like that, from what I could make out.
from what you could make out. So, what do you just mean that it was in metaphor, or was it hard to?
No, he was talking about oil destroying us and destroying the animals and stuff. So yeah, something
Okay.
about oil being, or something about oil being bad or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if you were saying from what you got, because it was, sometimes it's like in metaphor, or if like you just couldn't understand what he was saying.
No, I didn't understand all the lyrics. No, not
fair
everyone.
enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, you said that was a pretty amazing video, so
Holy shit! Yeah, I mean, it must have taken them ages.
Yeah. So okay. I mean, you know something about shooting an incredible video. So I think we should watch the video for Freaky Deaky. Anything you wanna tell the folks about that?
Yeah. The black and white squares in the background were hand painted one by one with a paintbrush and time and effort, because I don't know, they just thought it would be cheaper and easier hand painting squares. I think it was only later on that they realized they could have actually just like cut out black squares, but it was too late. It was too late. They already decided to hand paint an entire room, and that just is a kind of metaphor for my entire band. Actually, we only realized the easy way of doing things months later.
I mean, it's a good life lesson in general to realize that you're gonna learn from the past. Like yeah, or you hope to anyway. I'm not sure everybody in the Middle East has learned anything from the past, but maybe that's a topic for another time. I don't know.
There's some amazing shots in this video because Arno, he found an old train set that his dad must had when he was a kid. So it was a very, very, very old train set, electric train set, and we built a kind of circle around us, and then we blue tacked I don't know, maybe blue tack isn't the word in American, but anyway, we stuck a GoPro onto the onto the train, and then the train would go round us, and then we would sing at the GoPro as it goes round us with a kind of fisheye lens.
So I thought about the GoPro earlier when you were talking about forgetting to to have the stage thing. Like, you guys could just like all strap GoPros to your heads or something, and then just like
yeah, exactly.
Somebody would have a field day with cutting that together. Like,
oh man, I mean, because often what happens is we jump into the crowd. We spend a lot of time actually spend a lot of time in the audience, actually, either crowd surfing on top of the audience or in the mosh pit.
Right.
Because it's like a hardcore thing. We're part of the people. One other thing about Freaky Deaky is that train set from the 50s or 60s, it exploded during the filming, because I don't know, there was something wrong with it and it just exploded, and there was like smoke everywhere. So we were like, we might actually. I think we got enough footage of the fisheye lens. Okay, that's all right.
I was gonna say, I mean, the explosion and the smoke, that could be a cool part of the video. So.
No, the GoPro didn't see it, unfortunately.
That is unfortunate. And people will be warned, but in case they're, off doing something in their kitchen or whatever, and they're not there at the beginning to see the warning. This video does have some fast flashing images, so just want to say that out loud so nobody comes in and has a seizure. So, all right, you've been warned. If you're if this is gonna trigger a seizure, turn away. Let's watch it.
Ça tourne. Allez, musique.
Pressure pushing down.
And I did not say this before we played it. That won Video of the Year in the Creative Commons Community Music Awards.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I have to remember to tell Archie that actually, because those lights, all those lights were real lights. That was the actual what it was like in the room, and that was Archie, Octave's brother, that programmed those lights. He was sitting there he just connected all his lights up to his computer, and he was sitting there hammering the buttons on the computer. That was what. So all those flashing lights was actually live. Live. It was actually that's exactly how it was. So I mean, the director was Gabrielle, who's she's the one that shows all the clothes. She spent weeks going through eBay or whatever trying to find not whatever those clothes are. The clothes we were wearing.
Well, I was gonna ask you because the Adidas thing, it looks like a goalkeeper jersey to me. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some kind of ice hockey.
Oh, okay.
Hockey thing.
Maybe. Okay.
I suppose it's the only thing big enough for me now. Now I've turned into a fat man. But the clothing was all kind of part of the vibe to get like 90s thrash. 90s thrash is back, man. Kind of thing. Oh. But I had my kids upstairs playing video games while we were downstairs shooting the video.
Yeah.
And it was all just basically live. Basically, we just.
It's funny that you're talking about 90s thrash because I've never associated you guys with like thrash at all. The band that often comes to mind when I hear you guys is Atari Teenage Riot. And you guys aren't quite in the digital hardcore as those guys, but like there's you guys have a stronger like pop sensibility, I feel like, than they did.
Exactly.
But I often hear that and I'm like, yeah, I if I feel like if maybe if they'd had Noel Gallagher had joined Atari Teenage Riot, then maybe that's what would have somebody with some pop sensibility. But
I mean, we did that on purpose. I mean, the reason we do these kind of things. I mean, music. The reason we get into like vans and drive like 8 hours across the country to play in a squat in front of like 5 people is because we are doing this for politics. We want to get our message across of anarchism and anarcho pop, and the only way to get people to really listen to anarchism is to make it fun. And the best way to make things fun is to just write great pop songs. Atari Teenage Riot did a great job, and I'm a huge fan, as you can hear in all my songs. But they were like really, sometimes they were preaching to the converted, and we don't want to preach to the converted. Sometimes we play festivals, and in the front row, there's like mothers with kids little kids dancing, and you got like the kind of like, I don't know, receptionists and people, people from the straight world, and we're bringing them into this kind of world. And I think that's the most powerful thing a political activist can do, is bring new people into the, into the alternative world.
Yeah, that's that was always one of the reasons why with Music Management we didn't do just free culture, is because we felt like, well, if you just do free culture, like that's a hard sell. Like people want to make a living off their music, then like I mean, definitely people do it, but it's not easy to necessarily get into that scene. It's one of the reasons why this show is on YouTube instead of just being on PeerTube, because if you look at the views on PeerTube versus the views on YouTube, well, we're getting a lot more views on YouTube. So, if we want to bring people into Creative Commons, that's where we need to be. But I also think we need to be on PeerTube, which is why
Yeah,
we have a strict.
exactly. I mean, we always release our music to to the fans first on Bandcamp and things like that, and also Blocksonic, obviously. And then, eventually, weeks later, months later, even, you got to release it eventually on Spotify for the straight world,
Yeah.
because that's what it, the okay, you gotta reach out. I mean, sometimes when you turn on the news, you think that these people can't be reformed, that they're just crazy. But we don't give up on them because I know from experience some people have come to Lewis Lingg shows and then they've got involved in there was one kid that came up to me and he thanked me and he said it was the first that Lewis Lingg and the Bombs was the first punk show he'd seen, and that after that show he was so inspired that he joined a homeless shelter, and he's been helping like homeless people and refugee people ever since, and that made
That's
me very,
awesome.
very proud.
Yeah.
It's very proud, and that only happens because we're putting ourselves out there outside of the anarchist world.
Absolutely. All right. So speaking of PeerTube, the PeerTube sync doesn't run if we go too long. So do you have anything you want to wrap up with? Actually, that was a beautiful ending. So if you want to end there,
Yeah,
then
that was
great. But
that was a pretty nice wrap up. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
All right.
we are we're just happy to do music, and it is an honor. And during COVID, we did a few like big illegal shows, and people cried during those shows because they were so happy, and then that's an honor. It's just an honor for us to to speak to you guys, to release stuff on Blocksonic, just to do shows in basements. It's I don't take it for granted. It really is a privilege and an honor to do that stuff. I'm really happy.
And I certainly feel privileged that you joined us today. I'm gonna, very briefly say that Rhino is on next week. I know that you know Rhino.
Wow! Yeah,
so,
of course. We
yeah.
went on tour. We went on
Yeah.
tour with the dude.
So we can talk about that after I end the stream. All right. So I'm gonna hit this in stream and then we can stay on and chat a little bit. All right. We might have gone over.